All right, man. So wait, so we're waiting on your slacker partner here. What's going on?
He's still punctual. It's still one, but once it turns to 101, then we can do nine. Yeah, yeah, he'll be here in a sec. I think
All right, cool.
we're working off this rural Canadian internet. It's kind of rough sometimes.
So you like out in the town you're from? Is it like out in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, pretty much. It's not like the middle of nowhere, nowhere, but it's kind of like next door to that.
It's like for Americans, like anything outside of like Montreal, Toronto, Windsor. It's like all
Yeah,
like out in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, it's that kind of stuff. Like a bunch of fields with cows in it and shit like that.
Yeah, I've been to Canada a few times. Been to Montreal a bunch of times.
Mm.
Windsor. I played baseball and I was in the Montreal Expos farm system back in the early '90s.
Oh, sick. That's
Yeah,
dope.
and then I almost signed a minor league contract with the Regina Cyclones.
Interesting. Cool.
And I asked somebody what that town was like, and they're like, "You like the first like month of the season, you literally still have to shovel snow off the field." I'm like, you know what?
Fuck.
I think I'm done with baseball for a while. Oh, I think Ian's ready. Hold on, add him in here. See the gang's all here, and there we go. I believe the gang's all here. Ian, hi. My name's actually Matt. It's not Paul.
How you doing, Matt?
Hey, doing all right. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. Sorry, my
Oh,
audio was just being weird.
yeah, it's gonna be trippy. First time doing a multiple one, so every time someone talks, it's gonna like switch the screens on me. It's gonna be crazy. So here we are talking to Cleopatrick. We got Luke and Ian. It's WMGM face to face, and we're doing it through Zoom, of course. And people that listen to me know that I'm just so technology just deficient. And I will say this, because of that, I went to check out your website and was so pleasantly surprised how like you did the old school setup with the like the almost like AOL instant messenger chat popped up and the icons like you're using the original Apple from like 1998 or something like that. That's kind of cool. Whose idea was that?
It just kind of came up like slowly. We knew we wanted a new website, and that kind of whole brand was built to tie in with like this marketing thing we did for like the last song we put out. Well, yeah, like I don't really know. That wasn't like an idea we totally set out with at the beginning. It just kind of kept growing and growing until now it's like essentially a separate computer desktop from everyone shares now.
I said I was waiting to see Oregon Trail as a little icon to play on the side. You guys should do that. Like you do Oregon Trail, but like the two of you are like there on the trail, and you try not to get dysentery, and the fans try to help you get across. Like go on tour. You guys can make your own game out of it, actually.
Yeah, it's a good idea. We should make our own game.
So let me ask you this. Here in the States, we, especially in South Jersey, we just got exposed to Cleopatrick not that long ago with Hometown. And of course, that song's actually been out for quite some time. What, 4 years or so that song has been out? It's been released.
Yeah, I think close to that. Yeah.
And like 45 million streams already on Spotify. And yeah, you're like, yeah, 45 million. That's a dollar 77. Like we're rolling in money now.
Exactly.
So, what was like? To introduce yourselves to our South Jersey listeners here. Obviously it's just the two of you for one, and just like kind of explain a quick backstory how the two of you got together. I know you've been just reading real quick. You guys like basically grew up together, listen to AC/DC, and boom, let's make our own music. Who plays what? Why did you keep it at two guys? Did you ever try to invite your other friends in? Being middle of nowhere, Canada, maybe there's no other people around to be friends with. I don't know. You kind of go through that with us a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, Ian and I have been best friends since we were like 4 years old, and we grew up together and got into music together, and it's just kind of always been this thing that we share with each other. And we had some bands in high school, played a lot of covers in Coburg. There's not many places to really play original music, so we were just ripping covers for a long time. And then being from a small town, like we hit that point at the end of high school where suddenly all our friends were choosing schools and moving away to go pursue their post-secondary life, and Ian and I just wanted to make music, and we weren't really sure if that was something we could could really do and turn into a career, but
Mm.
we decided to just do it. We had this motto that we used to say to each other, just like, nothing matters. And that was like our inspiration to like try and do something cool rather than, I don't know, freak ourselves out and go to school and become I don't know, something.
Now,
Tradesman.
let me, like this too, like you guys, like you said, you're in a really rural area and you're just kind of, playing music. Are you guys self-taught? Did you take lessons? Because, at the end of the day, you guys have a very, polished hard rock sound that, I mean, if you had a tough time getting out playing live and this, so did you learn it yourself? Like, how do you guys develop as musicians?
Yeah, we both took we both started out playing guitar, and we both took guitar lessons for a really long time. And I mean, growing up, we were both involved in various music programs and whatnot. So I think like skill wise, all our chops and musicality ability has come from that. But I mean, as everything that we know in this band is just kind of come from us, and something that we've been kind of searching for within music, and for the last however many years. So it's kind of a bit of both. Like there's definitely some elements of what both of us do that are self-taught for sure. But yeah, we both were involved in lessons a lot when we were younger as well.
Now, when did you get to a point where I don't know? Did you get like discovered? Did you guys put your own money together and record yourself? I know with technology today, a lot of people can just kind of do it from home. How did you guys get that part of the career started?
Yeah, we made our first EP before we had played a show because we thought that we needed an EP to get a show. We just didn't really understand how it worked, I guess. But yeah, so we took a loan from our parents and got that first EP recorded. We did it in like a day, just like live off the floor, and then played like little bar shows off that EP for a really long time, a couple years. And then we kind of had a bit of money saved up from that, and a couple songs written, and we decided to record this last EP, which is what Hometown came from. And yeah, with that one, we just we had like a lot of time to develop playing all these shows and just jamming together for so long that I think our songwriting just got a lot better, and we could afford a nicer studio. We worked with this homie named Anton DeLost who helped us kind of craft the sound of that EP. And yeah, and then after that, it was really just a single email sent off to Alison Hagendorf at Spotify. It was kind of like a Hail Mary shot in the dark thing. And we sent her Hometown, and she listened to it and liked it and started getting put in playlists. And then that exposed us to like a lot of people. And luckily people liked our music, and we've been able to build off that for the last few years and do a lot of touring and just awesome stuff.
Yeah, it usually doesn't happen like that. Like this is like a super slow build. It's like throwing it back to like almost like the 70s, how a band had to really like make a song, and 5 years later it finally like pops out somewhere. Like this day and age, everything seems to need to be instantaneous, and here you guys are doing like a really super long build up, and now you got a song that's like still climbing charts and whatnot. And it's like a hell of an investment there. You did it 5 years ago. You're still paying dividends. Some artists have a song and 3 weeks later it's gone. You never hear of it again, and you guys get to keep hearing your song, and it gets that slow spread everywhere it goes.
Yeah, we're really grateful for how everything's worked out. We've had a lot of control and been able to build our team like really carefully, picking like only cool people to work with us, and really just keeping control of this thing. And it's helped us hold on to this cool perspective with our music that like it's really special to us. We take our time with it. I mean, we've been working on like our debut album for like 2 years now, and everyone that listens to us knows, and they're cool with waiting because they know that it's going to be worth it. And it's this cool little thing that we've built, and I think that we have that slow build to thank for it. We didn't rush into any decisions.
Well, the other thing too is the fact that with COVID and everything kind of shut down, it's giving you guys maybe some extra time. There's obviously there's no pressure to tour because there's no touring, so it's almost like you can take your time and get things done with this, right?
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Now, who does what in the band? Because there's only two of you. You make a lot of noise. I'm always so impressed with, like a limited amount of people who can make things sound really big and loud. And when you guys do play live, is it just you two? Do you have anything else going on? Like, how's that work out?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
like
just us.
Luke plays guitar and bass technically, and is the singer, and I play the drums. And I guess Luke, if you want to go more in depth about how your setup works, might be
Yeah, like
make more sense than me talking about it.
well, first off, we play really loud, which helps to fill out the space.
Turn it all up to 11.
Yeah, exactly. We actually turned up to 12.
All right.
And yeah, and like my rig, like I got my amps behind me. Like I play through the guitar amp there, but then also this bass amp is plugged in there too, and I have a button that can turn it on and off. So like there's essentially a bass player with us live, but it's just my guitar being all modulated and twisted up. But yeah, it's like this cool thing that we kind of just fell into. We started this band looking for a bass player, and there wasn't really anyone we could find in our town, so just made up this setup, and it's kind of what's worked ever since. And it informs our songwriting a lot now. So like, I don't think it'll ever change unless we start writing some more orchestral stuff. But yeah.
So you don't feel like constrained in your songwriting because it's just two of you and you can only do so much at one time. You're pretty content with how the path you're on.
Yeah, like we do feel constrained, but it's like it's what we like about it. Like it forces us to think outside the box and
More to
write our
be
songs
critical
in a
of that.
certain way.
Yeah.
It's like, you had like Motley Crue's Home Sweet Home. It's like, oh, we got a piano. Let's do something with the piano. Oh, who's gonna play it? It's all right. No, scrap that. Throw it away. Can't do that.
Totally.
So you just never without. So when you're live, like, how do you switch back and forth between a guitar and bass sound? Like, how does that work out? Or is it just like one plays and the other plays, or how's that go?
Yeah, so if you can imagine, it's just like what I'm playing on the guitar is heading into my pedal board, and then I split it off into two signals, and one just kind of stays as a normal guitar signal and goes out to everyone, and then my other one heads through a certain combo of pedals that lowers it an octave and fattens it, and then I put it through the bass amp, which just adds a whole bunch of low end. It really doesn't sound like a guitar at all, and then I can use those two in like synchronized together or just one or the other. And all of our songs are built around that, switching the layers out. Ian stops playing and the bass stops, or like these different things. And yeah, it's this cool, like really primal way to make music. Like if we want people to jump in our chorus, I just press one button and the bass comes on, and suddenly everyone knows like that's the part they're supposed to jump for, but it's all subconscious. But it's really easy. It's simple, clean music.
Now, Ian, if you're feeling left out just because all you're doing is playing the drums, you ever maybe get a setup with like a trumpet off to the side that you can turn around, get a harmonic in there or something? You feel like you gotta do some multitasking too?
I mean, maybe not a trumpet, but I mean there's always room to expand in that regard, because we are open to maybe in the future like different elements being added, but I think I mean to a point. Like I currently use a Roland SPD, which we have some tracks and whatnot. We have some like electronic drums that we sometimes use. We're kind of a bit picky about that kind of stuff. Like I don't think you'll hear us playing to backing tracks anytime soon, but yeah, there's room to expand, I think.
So you guys still pretty much have like a raw rock sound, which is I like it. It's cool. It's like kind of like throwbacky a little bit, but not like too throwbacky. It still has a modern feel to it. And it's got like a good energy to it. You guys have been obviously compared to Royal Blood because they're another duo type thing. Who do you guys feel? Do you guys feel like you kind of gel with other current bands, or you feel like you gel, like you feel more inspired by maybe bands from the past, like? or you just like kind of like zone everything out and let's just do our own thing?
I think, well, I mean, obviously, like growing up and us learning guitar and playing covers and stuff, there's definitely some inspiration from rock bands of the past, but um, that's really faded for us, and now I think we look forward for a lot. Like, honestly, I think there's like two main rock bands that are our huge inspirations, which are like Ready the Prince and Zig Mentality. They're like our best friends, and they write some of the best rock music coming out right now. And other than that, it's like honestly, like Drake is a huge inspiration melodically and lyrically, and I just think he's a sick modern songwriter. And yeah, I don't really think that we like look back to bands like Led Zeppelin or that stuff when we're writing our songs anymore. But I mean, hey, respect to those guys.
Cool. So, Cleopatrick, you guys are working on a full album. You can find your music, via Amazon Prime and Spotify and stuff like that. We were playing it at WMGM Rocks. One last thing with all the, I mean, obviously with the pandemic, we've all had some extra free time. I know you guys have actually been busy, working out with the album, doing the full album. Do you have any downtime? And if so, what have you been doing with it? Or since you've been since you guys kind of grew up in a smaller-ish town, are you just kind of used to the isolation part of it all?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's got their own things that hopefully they've figured out how to, deal with this stuff by now. I think for the most part for us, it's just kind of keeping busy and making plans to look forward to, whether they happen or not, and just kind of whatever, making the most of the time however it feels on the day. Like I think I'd be lying if I told like this ideal daily routine that I have, because sometimes I have that and then other days it just doesn't work at all. So
one day
I got a bit more deep than maybe I should have there, but just try not to take things too seriously every day and just making the most of what's in front of you. That's my answer, which isn't really an answer, so sorry.
I was gonna say, like, one day you're drinking a bunch of raw eggs and doing push-ups and running 5 miles. The next day you're just like watching reruns of The Office.
It's pretty much like that. Yeah, a little bit less extreme, but yeah, like working on music or doing yoga or just watching stuff if you're not feeling it. It's there's some weird days for sure, but yeah.
What about you, Luke?
Eggs, that's a good one. I should try that though.
Yeah, it's same for me. Like, I don't really have one specific coping mechanism right now, but been playing lots of guitar and making beats and playing some video games with Ian and our friends, and like watching a fuck ton of YouTube. Learned so much about space in the last few months. I think I want to be an astrophysicist now.
Oh, wow. All right, there you go. You just picked it up on the side when you're not playing guitar and bass at the same time.
Is it Brian May did that? Isn't he an astrophysicist?
Yeah, I think he does do something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my inspo.
Brian May, there you go. All right, well, one last thing. Anything you guys want to say to the fine folks in the South Jersey, Atlantic City area? Like, we're coming to your town. Who knows?
Yo, we want to play shows for you, but we're not really sure when that'll be safe. But rest assured, as soon as it is safe, we're gonna fucking do it, and it's gonna be sick. And our new album's coming out soon, and it's the dopest rock music you'll ever hear.
I gotta say, man, you guys really, really rock out, and it was, it's so cool. Like, it was tough enough for established bands to get music out during this, and even though, again, I said it was a slow roll, all of a sudden, boom, we got a band like for us we haven't heard of before, and hey, there's new music for us to listen to here from a new band, relative to us during this pandemic. So that's been a pretty cool little treat for us.
Yeah, thanks. It's been really awesome. Your support means a lot, especially during this time where it kind of feels like nothing's happening. It's been awesome to have a thing happening, and we're getting so many new listeners thanks to people like you. So thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Luke and Ian, and best of luck with everything. And again, yeah, hopefully we'll see you here in Atlantic City doing a show. And maybe before the show, we'll hook up an Xbox Live and play some Call of Duty or something.
Yeah,
There you go.
sick.
All right, guys, take care, and I will see you soon.
Thanks, Matt.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, later.